aminotransferases or transamination reactions. Now we are entering into the next topic. It is decarboxylation of amino acids. Under some conditions, some amino acids undergo decarboxylation directly to produce a bioactive molecule. Here in this diagram you can see glutamate, that means glutamic acid, and also histidine. You think about glutamate. This is a carboxyl group shown in red color. That carboxyl group is leaving as carbon dioxide. Here in histidine also you can see the red colored carboxyl group that also is leaving as carbon dioxide. So remember, always carboxylation in biochemistry means carbon dioxide is released from carboxyl group of the substrate. Carbon dioxide is released from carboxyl group of substrate. And the enzymes are decarboxylases and pyridoxal phosphate, PLP, pyridoxal phosphate is the coenzyme required. And what's the product? From glutamate, gamma amino butyric acid is produced. Alpha, beta, gamma. Gamma amino butyric acid is produced. It is shortly called GABA. While from histidine, histamine is produced. Actually, both gamma amino butyric acid and histamine are important bioactive molecules. Histamines especially are acting as local mediators of allergic responses within the body. So decarboxylation of amino acids. Next, there is a glucose alanine cycle. Now we are slowly coming to the elimination of nitrogenous waste from the body. In our body, the nitrogenous waste is eliminated in the form of urea. You can see here urea. And the urea cycle is taking place in the liver. Urea formation is taking place in the liver. But amino acids are actually there in the other tissues of the body as well. For example, in the muscles. So how is the amino group transported from the muscles to the liver? See why this process is required? Because nitrogenous waste is eliminated in our body in the form of urea. Urea is formed by urea cycle. That urea cycle is taking place in the liver only. So nitrogenous waste materials or nitrogenous compounds should be transported to the liver from the other organs such as muscles. In this slide you are going to see how is the nitrogen transported from the muscles to the liver. Look here. In the muscle there is a keto acid. What is a keto acid? Pyruvate. You know that pyruvate is formed from glucose by means of glycolysis. That pyruvate does not contain any nitrogen atom. But this keto acid pyruvate combines with the glutamate. You know that glutamate is an amino acid. And what is produced is alanine. What's the reaction? This is a transamination reaction. An amino acid plus a keto acid gives the corresponding amino acid and a keto acid. So in this case, pyruvate is accepting amino group from glutamate to produce alanine. This alanine is transported from the blood, from the muscles through the blood to the liver. And what happens in the liver? In the liver, the reverse reaction takes place. That means alanine, the amino acid, combines with alpha ketoglutarate, the keto acid, producing pyruvate, the keto acid, and the glutamate, the amino acid. And now the amino group containing compound is transported from the muscle to the liver. The amino acid containing compound glutamate is transported from the muscle to the liver. In the liver, what happens? From the glutamate, ammonia is released, and that ammonia is used for the urea cycle. And then what about the pyruvate? This pyruvate is used for the formation of glucose. You have studied the pathway gluconeogenesis. Pyruvate is used for the formation of glucose by means of gluconeogenesis, and that glucose is transported through the bloodstream towards the muscles where it undergoes glycolysis. So this pathway is simply transporting amino group from the muscle to the liver. And what's going to happen to that amino group? It is going to be eliminated in the form of urea. The same reactions are shown here. It's very simple. Pyruvate is produced from glucose, glycogen, etc. It combines with an amino acid producing, it combines with a keto acid. This pyruvate is a keto acid and it combines with an amino acid to producing the corresponding amino acid. That's what you found here in the case of glutamate and alpha ketoglutarate. And this new amino acid is being transported from the muscle through the blood to the liver. In the liver, this amino acid undergoes deamination to produce alpha ketoglutarate. And also glutamate is produced. Alpha ketoglutarate combines with alanine, and by means of transamination, amino group is transferred from alanine to alpha ketoglutarate, producing glutamate. From the glutamate, by means of deamination, amino group is released, and that amino group is used for the formation of urea. So, for the urea cycle, some of the amino groups required are transported from the muscle to the liver. Here in this diagram, you are going to see the complete reactions of urea cycle. The complete reactions of urea cycle. This is mitochondria. Mitochondrial matrix is what you see here. Outside the mitochondria, what do we have? It is the cytosol. So both cytosol and mitochondrion are involved in the case of urea cycle. And in which organ is it taking place? It is taking place in the liver. So in the hepatocytes, both cytosol and mitochondria are involved in urea cycle. This diagram is a small diagram. You cannot see it properly. So in the next two slides, we will split this diagram into two. But before that, you need to understand one thing. Some materials are transported from the cytosol into the mitochondria. You can see here glutamine is transported. Glutamate also is transported from the cytoplasm into the mitochondria. And some reactions are taking place inside the mitochondria. And two of the products of these reactions are transported out of the mitochondrion into the cytoplasm. Which are they? Can you see here one? This is the first reaction of the urea cycle. You can see here ornithine reacts with the carbamoyl phosphate to produce citrulline. Ornithine reacts with the carbamoyl phosphate to produce citrulline. This is the first reaction of the urea cycle, and the citrulline is transported from the mitochondrial matrix into the cytoplasm. So one product is transported from the mitochondrial matrix into the cytoplasm. Second product, can you see here? Oxaloacetate combines with glutamate to produce alpha ketoglutarate and I think it is aspartic acid. Yes, it is aspartic acid, aspartate. This is also involving actually a transamination reaction. amino acid plus keto acid gives the corresponding amino acid and keto acid. So aspartate is produced. This aspartate is transported from the mitochondrial matrix into the cytoplasm, where that also this aspartate also is used for the synthesis of urea. So some of the reactions of the urea cycle are taking place in the mitochondrial matrix. The others are taking place in the cytoplasm. We will see them in detail.